So, when the game comes out for PC, are you going to keep playing on the Switch, or are you going to switch to PC?
Switch.
Like, play it on the Switch, or switch to PC?
Switch.
I'll be honest with you, it's been about 10 seconds and the word switch has already lost most of its meaning to me.
Switch.
A switch off! Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, welcome one and all to a somewhat double feature, as we recently asked you all the question, are you getting Sunbreak on Switch or PC? I'll talk to you a little bit about that, and also a bit about Capcom confirming that there will be no crossplay and no cross-save between PC and Nintendo Switch for Monster Hunter Rise or Sunbreak, and also the community's reaction to that. First though, Switch or PC? We polled you, and pretty unsurprisingly, overwhelmingly, the majority of people are saying that they plan to buy the expansion for the Switch. Of course, even if PC is synced from day one with content releases, so many people have already bought the game for Switch that don't see enough of a good reason to swap. The graphical updates aren't enough to drive the extra purchase, and of course there are people who have a Switch but don't own a PC powerful enough to run the game either. 68% of you said you'd play it on Switch, 23% of you said PC, and 8% of you said that you'll be buying both versions. Of course, there is also the consideration that people who will be playing Rise for the first time on PC, as in they haven't played it on the Switch, are less likely to participate in a poll about buying the expansion that they don't even know if they want yet in the first place. All of this is incredibly interesting to me though, less because of what the results are, and more because of the interests of why they are what they are. In a world where a Monster Hunter game released exclusively on PC for a few months, then released later on the Switch, do you think that this would be perfectly reversed? 68% of people buying the expansion on PC? Or is it simply that people have more access to and more willingness to use the Nintendo Switch to play a Monster Hunter game? My biggest question though is all the recent slight kerfuffle about crossplay and cross-save. In a poll Capcom took after the Tokyo Game Show event, they asked the community's thoughts on crossplay and cross-save in the series. The response seems to have been majoritively positive. However, after a few days, Capcom confirmed that this would not be a possible system for Monster Hunter Rise, but would be taken into consideration for future titles. Now, let's stop right there, because a year ago, I would have made a video blasting some of the people responding to this post, but let's just suffice it to say that it is ridiculous to get upset at Capcom for not being able to work in crossplay to a game that began development 5 years before they even asked us about our thoughts on crossplay. That type of system is a little bit hard to reverse engineer into a game that isn't always online, and Monster Hunter is not always online. That said, what this means is we have something to look forward to in the future, something pretty concrete. We know for a fact that we won't be getting crossplay here, however, the fact that first they asked us about it on the survey, then secondarily they actually responded to us by directly tweeting about crossplay and cross-saves, they know that we want it. They actually looked into applying it to Rise. To me, that seems about as close as we will get to confirming that crossplay and cross-save will be in the series sooner rather than later, probably even in the 6th gen.
You mean play together?
With that, I ran a significantly smaller poll asking the same question again, but with a couple of extra options, specifying whether or not the lack of crossplay and cross-save in Rise and Sunbreak will affect people's decision. In total, the responders to this poll were 78% Switch, 21% PC, so slightly lower rates than the other poll for PC. However, of those, almost a third of the people who said Switch also said that they might change their decision if there was crossplay and cross-save. The knowledge that they would be able to keep their progress and their save and still be able to play with their Switch-based friends could convince them to buy the PC version of the game, as it is the system that they prefer. Even more interestingly, nearly half of the people who said PC also said they would be instead playing the Switch version if there was crossplay. To me, this is specifically people who want to play with friends that they know are getting the PC version of the game, but they already have the game for Switch themselves, which of course is a pretty notable group of the player base. In short, somewhere around a third of the community, at least based on this sample, will be purchasing Sunbreak on their non-ideal platform of choice. Either people staying on the Switch to keep their save and the ability to play with their friends even if they prefer PC themselves, or people who need to move to PC for their friends and lose their save even if they prefer the Switch. This is why crossplay and cross-save are important potential features for the series, and this is is why we have a lot to be excited about when it comes to these features coming to the series eventually. When they do, it will create a bridge across an otherwise near impassable canyon, allowing loads and loads of people to play together, play Monster Hunter together, who couldn't before, making more friends or simply giving the ability to people who already were friends to play together when they previously couldn't do so. Monster Hunter is a game about a lot of things, but one of the main ones is the multiplayer experience. It's just one of the core concepts of the series that has been around since the very first game was made. This is the natural evolution of that, and I, for one, cannot wait. Not literally, though. I can wait a little bit, but the reason that I can wait is because I'm someone who will get both versions of this game and try my best to sync my PC progress up to my Switch, because I just want to be able to play with as many people as possible, and I simply have the ability to do so. Anyone in the community who isn't in a position to get both versions, this is a much bigger issue for, and it has been a relatively hot topic in the community since the release of Monster Hunter World, which once every version was out, was on 3 separate systems, each player base separate from each other. I'm not trying to talk about how that part saddened me, more so about how the future excites me, though. The one where there aren't multiple different groups separated from each other in the player base, the one where we're all playing together, the one where there aren't people yelling at Capcom for being transparent about a feature not being included. Like, for real, this feature was never promised for Rise Sunbreak, and some people took it a bit too far on the backlash. I get being critical, and responding to this with something like, I wish there was crossplay and cross-save in Rise. That's fair enough. But why do some people just not get that being rude to someone is not the way to get their attention and actually have a discussion with them? Think about how you talk to people. When someone is trying to give me advice and they stop to insult me, why would I continue listening to their advice? So one day, yes, we can all play Monster Hunter together in the same lobby, though it's not this one. The results of this have about 2/3 of the community saying that they plan to stay on the Nintendo Switch, and as much as I hate to say it, that is also important information to consider for console-exclusive Event Quest collaborations. Monster Hunter has had Nintendo crossovers before in the past, but those types of crossovers generally don't get put on non-Nintendo systems. With the knowledge that there will be no crossplay between Switch and PC for Rise, there is technically nothing that stops console-exclusive crossovers like that. And given that the Switch seems to be by far the console of choice, the more popular version of the game, from this voting that we've seen, as well as the prior history of Nintendo crossovers with the series, I could definitely believe that we have some of these coming our way in the future. As sad as it would be to get anything for the Switch version of the game that the PC version can't have. We'll have to see. Maybe after all this time, Nintendo has become more lenient. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Nintendo's not doing any crossovers with Rise that'll make it to PC. Let's be real here. All right, everyone. I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and this has been a talk about a poll on whether you'll be buying Sunbreak for PC or Nintendo Switch, as well as if crossplay and cross-save not being a part of the game changes your opinion. How excited are you for Sunbreak anyways? Because I really am. Regardless of whether it will be on the original save or my new one that I'm going to have on PC, I look forward to seeing you all out there playing the game. Like if you all like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.